Hello everyone, it's Elaine. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm excited to be sharing a Gnomey Winter Wonderland card today. So I've got a piece of blue cardstock here and two of the slim Woodland dies by Mama Elephant, one of which I've already snipped apart. So I'm going to firstly come in and do some ink blending. I've trimmed that piece of cardstock down, slightly larger than the Woodland die, and I'm ink blending on Peacock Feathers, focusing the majority of that colour along the top edge. Now coming in with some Blueprint Sketch Distress ink, darkening up the uppermost area of that cardstock so they get a nice sort of blended ombre gradient look. And now coming in with some navy from the Hero Arts Pool to Navy Ombre ink pad. So set that aside for a moment, and if you saw my last video you will know that I had this spare die cut piece. It's the bottom half of the slim Woodland die, and I'm using a piece of paper from my notepad to help mask off those areas, and I'm using what's mostly left on my brush. Added a little more here. I used up most of the ink on that first snowbank, but just a really light layer all along that top edge. Now coming in with the full die cut, and I'm ink blending on some vintage photo and antique linen onto these trees, just to give them a little bit of colour and help them pop off the card. So this is how it's going to look when assembled, so I can start to see how my scene is looking. Pop those die cuts to one side for a moment, and I'm bringing in this white paint pen by Jane Davenport. I will link it down in the description box along with all of the other supplies. I'm just dabbing on some marks to look like snow. This is a really quick and simple way to add snow to your scenes. And I'm using a white gel pen here to add some smaller snowflakes. So setting that all aside for a moment, I'm going to be doing some colouring. So on the screen you will see Little Gnome Agenda stamp set by Mama Elephant, and I'm using a really nice pinky red for the clothing and hats on the gnomes. I will have all of the colours listed over on my blog if you haven't caught them on the screen. There is a lot of colouring today, so if you're not interested in that, feel free to skip along. For the greens, I'm using a nice olivey green, and then for the foliage, I'm using a more vibrant green. I love doing this sort of dot technique for the wreaths. Adds a little bit of texture and is really quick and simple. So all of the gnomes have the same coloured markers for their feet, skin tones and beards. So I'm going to turn on a little bit of music here, as there is a lot of colouring, and you can listen to that while I'm colouring in all of these lovely images. So that's the colouring all finished up. I did finish off colouring the sweets and gumdrops off screen, but they are all the same colours as I've previously used. So now I'm going to come in and finish off trimming up that sky panel so that it fits nicely behind the Woodland die cut. I'm adding some adhesive along the outer edge so that sits nicely behind my scene. Adding on some more glue so that I can adhere the snowbank panel. Press that down. And now I'm going to be adding some interest to the tree, so I'm bringing in this glue pen, adding just randomly some little dabs of glue. It's quite liquidy, which is what we want because I am going to be adding on some of this really nice chunky glitter. Just pour that over and then tap off the excess. So as the card moves, it will give a really nice little bit of shimmer. Clear that away and I can move on to adhering all of my elements to my card. So I have laid out my gnomes. They're not glued down yet, but now I'm adding on some glue to this candy house. Secure that down first. As that's the largest element, I wanted to make sure I get that down first. Popping some glue on the back of these little gnomes. So cute. So as you can see, the gnomes are all coloured in the same colours. I've just mixed up the colour of the hats and their little cloaks. To add some more interest to the trees, I cut out and coloured these little holly sprigs. They are from the Snow Friends stamp set. And I also wanted to add on these little gift packages. They are from the Page Huggers stamp set, all by Mama Elephant. Again, coloured in the same greens and reds and pinks. So everything coordinates nicely. Adding a few of those around with my liquid adhesive and my jewel picker. Popped a little pink clay heart onto that little gnome's sign. And then to finish up, our card needs a greeting. So I'm using this Season's Greeting stamp from the Jingle Greetings stamp set by Mama Elephant. Now I've already previously snipped mine apart, but I've used my Versafine Onyx black ink to stamp that out. Adding on some shimmer and sparkle with my Nuvo Aqua shimmer pen. Pretty much colouring everything with that, and then to add a little bit of dimension to some of the elements, I'm using my Glossy Accents over the candy and this heart, using my pick here to spread out that Glossy Accents. I've got a card base here which measures 8.5 by 3.5 inches. I do end up trimming off the edge slightly so that I have a really nice even border all the way around. So I did have to wait for that Glossy Accents to dry. I'm just snipping off the edge there. And that is this Winter Wonderland card with all those lovely little gnomes finished for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in any of the supplies I've used, check out the blog and description box below, and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.